Alright guys, so I just went ahead and put the battery trays back in and put the brand new batteries for this truck in and hooked everything up. This is the first time this truck has had power since I don't know when, but we're gonna go ahead and turn the key and see if the dash all lights up and everything like that. But I want to see how many miles were on this truck. I'm guessing that it's gonna be around 240,000 miles. There is a tag up here for an oil change. Can't really see, it's all faded, but it said 5/23/2010, so 10 years ago. It had 144,000 miles. I'm guessing 240. Let me know in the comments below before I put the key in. What do you guys think the mileage is? Without further ado, let's see if this baby gets power and see what miles are on this thing. $310,000 miles. God dang. That is way more than I was expecting. Hey, it's about right around the same as my other truck. My other truck has 311,000 miles, I think now. But hey, we got no dinger. But everything looks good. Obviously, if I turn the key, it's not going to start. There's no starter, but there's no check engine light. So I was way off on that mileage. 310. It's a shit box. We got 310,000 miles on this thing. I know a lot of you guys are saying in the comments, why are you doing all this stuff before it's even started, before you know it runs? Well, I trust the guy that I bought it from. I took this truck home without paying him before he got me the title, because he had to find the title. So we took this truck home with me not even paying him. He brought the title to me, he brought the door, and I gave him the money to pay for the truck. I trust him. He said it was running good when he parked it. He just parked it, bought another truck, and whenever that truck had problems, he just took stuff off of this truck because he found a 5 or 6-speed manual, so we wanted to drive that truck and not this one. So that's why there's a bunch of parts taken off. It never really was supposed to be a parts truck. He just ended up taking parts off because he wanted to put them on his other truck. So that's why everything's pretty much taken apart. I trust him. He said it ran great. The injection pump was good. Everything was working how it was supposed to. One thing he said was the transmission shifted kind of iffy in second gear, but after second gear it went fine. So I'm going off of his word. He's a good guy. He's not trying to scam me or anything. He's a man of his word, and I'm going to trust him that this truck ran fine. He even told me, hey, if there's anything wrong with it, the engine's not running right, whatever, he said he'll buy the truck back from me. That's how good his word is. He says it runs fine. We're so close to getting this thing started. We got some parts coming in, the alternator bracket, the starter. We got window cranks for the windows, and then later on this week we have fans sent out by Flexalite, and we have an air dog sent out by Air Dogs. We're gonna get the fuel pump situated, the fan situated. It's a lot of parts coming in. I'm gonna hop to the back and start pressure washing the frame now that we have the bed off. We'll be able to take the fuel tank out and drain that out, clean it out, put it back on, and we'll be ready for the fuel pump. So guys, definitely stay tuned. I'm gonna hop on the pressure washer, and we'll talk to you guys here in a couple hours. So it seems like with mail and getting packages, I have the worst luck. My stuff never comes on time. 1 out of 3 packages showed up yesterday, and the one that showed up was the starter, and it was getting late, so I had already put it on the truck and not recorded it at all. I have to screw in one more bolt, and then we can test it. We can see if the engine spins over with the brand new starter. It just won't turn over because don't have a fuel pump yet and a couple other things, but we'll be able to check and see if the engine is locked up. So stay tuned for that in this video. But there's one thing we have to do to this truck, and I've been meaning to do this for about 2 weeks now because I keep forgetting and I just don't have the truck here most of the time. But all I have to do is replace the brake pads on this side, Should be fairly simple. I'm just gonna do it without taking off the wheel. It's gonna make it super easy. Just replace those brake pads and we should be good to go. So let's hop on this truck, replace those brake pads, and then we're gonna go ahead and install a brand new exhaust on the Can-Am. And then we will go ahead and see if the old Cummins cranks over. So that was fairly quick and fairly simple. These were the old pads right here. They weren't nearly worn down to where I needed to absolutely replace them. But since I did replace the other sides when that caliper almost fell off, I went ahead and replaced them anyway. It's been about probably 2.5 weeks since I did the other side. I just had no time to do this side, but we finally got to it. They should wear pretty even now. Now that they're both brand new pads. I'm gonna go ahead and press on the pedal right here and get that caliper to extend out, so we got no problems. I don't have to bleed them because no air got in the lines. And then before my girlfriend goes to work, I'll go ahead and do a test drive to make sure everything's all right. Now the next thing on our list today is to finally do this Can-Am exhaust. I've had this exhaust for a couple weeks now. I just have never really had time to go ahead and throw it in. But this Can-Am exhaust, it is a cat delete. It's gonna be exactly the same that I have right now, but it's not gonna look bad, you know? My welds aren't the best. I got a pipe that I just welded in, so you got two different looking pipes and all that. This one is fully TIG welded by RPM. They were gracious enough to send out a Can-Am exhaust. Just the cat delete. I wasn't looking for a full straight pipe because I was trying to get away from the loud exhaust I like with the muffler on. And now with this cat delete, it's going to look a whole lot better than my weld jobs, and it's just going to look way better than what's on here right now. We had the exhaust out of the Can-Am. This is the cat delete from RPM, homemade cat delete. This is where the cat was, welded a pipe in, welded the flange back on for the muffler. For the purpose, it looks all right, but for the looks, this one looks absolutely amazing. Nicely TIG welded. It's got the RPM badge right there, TIG welded on. So this one should look a whole lot better on that Can-Am. So let's go ahead and put it on. All right, there is the RPM cat delete for the Can-Am X3. It looks absolutely beautiful. Way better than this piece of you-know-what, man. I went ahead and welded this. Don't look too good, but it did the job. Now we have a nice, shiny, TIG welded cat delete in there. If you guys have a Can-Am X3 and you guys want this cat delete, I'll leave a link down below to RPM in the description below. But man, My Can-Am hasn't looked like this in forever now. We finally put back on the muffler shroud and it's looking good. But we got Caleb here.
What's up, guys?
And we are gonna go crank this truck over for the very first time. I have to extend the ground wire for the starter. And we should be able to see if this thing spins over, and hopefully it's not locked up. I'm pretty sure it's not locked up, but we won't know until we go ahead and crank it up. Did that rhyme? Can rhyme anytime. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and crawl underneath the truck, extend that ground wire, get that starter hooked up, and then we'll be able to turn the key and see if the starter engages and see if the engine's locked up or it's not locked up. All right, moment of truth. Batteries are getting connected.
Do your negative. You already did your negative. Shit's already falling apart. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
We got oil in this thing, right?
Yeah, I changed the oil and then people got mad at me for changing the oil before it was even running.
Can't make nobody happy, can you?
Nope. What I'm gonna do is basically, we don't have any fuel and I don't want to send nothing to the injection pump. That's how you burn them out so quick. You don't have good fuel pressure, which I have no fuel pressure right now because no fuel. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bump the starter and see if it engages and see if it tries to start the motor over. If you hear like, you hear like a rod or something, that would suck. But yeah, here's a moment of truth. See if the engine turns over. Still waiting on parts. Like I said, I can't control USPS. Parts were supposed to be here yesterday, never showed up. Still trying to get a subscriber to send me out the dang fan pulley, but he never really replies on Instagram. He said he would send it out, but I'm just trying to lock that down because if I get it shipped out, it's gonna take another 3 or 4 days to get it, and you guys are just waiting on a video. So
hopefully it doesn't blow up.
You ready?
Yep.
Good?
Sounds good. Oh yeah, she'll crank.
Yeah, she'll crank.
She'll crank.
So here's to all the haters that are saying, oh, this motor could be seized up. Like I said earlier in the video, I trust the guy. He said it was a good running truck before he parked it. It wasn't meant to be a parts truck, but he ended up buying another truck, like I said, and then taking parts of this truck off, which kind of makes it a parts truck, but it wasn't supposed to be a parts truck. He just got a new truck and decided to take parts off. But I'm super happy that it's not seized up, not surprised at all because I trust the guy, and it's just a waiting game right now, waiting for parts. I'm hoping we'll be able to get this thing cranked up and running by Sunday. So Sunday's video, I'm hoping, will be this thing running. So definitely, guys, stay tuned. We got a fuel pump on the way from AirDog. Got Flex-A-Lite, electric fans coming in. We got just a bunch of other parts. Subscribe to Caleb. He wasn't really in this video too much, but he came to help me on the Can-Am exhaust and to film this part, cranking this truck up. So guys, definitely stay tuned for more videos. A whole lot of stuff happening to this truck, and I'm super excited how this thing's gonna turn out. And I'm super excited to go on the first drive. I do have to get new tires because this one's the only one that doesn't hold air. That one may not hold air because I put air in it yesterday and it was way more pumped up than that. So I'm thinking some Nitto 420s. I had Nitto 420s on this truck before I had the lift. I had them on these 22x14s. I think those tires would look pretty good. Let me know some 20x10 wheels you think I should get. I think that would pair up really good. But anyway, I'm talking way too much. You guys probably have already left the video, so I'm just talking to myself right now. But we'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe to Caleb, and see you later. Diesel out.